right. What's popping and what's dropping? This your boy live and direct in full effect out the 832. Y'all already know how both of us do, man. You know what I'm saying? Got my boy out the 662, and y'all already know how he do. What's popping and what's dropping, Craig?
Man, not much, man. We just gonna do a quick little live stream tonight, y'all. We're gonna talk about this Lonzo Ball, Marley Caron situation in light of what Jimmy J. Smooth has said. This AD trade to the Lakers and who I think they will land next. We got fan questions, especially about the best offenses and defenses in college football and in the NBA, and among other things, what's on Jimmy's mind in this little short Jimmy J. Smooth Network show. So without further ado, what we're gonna talk about, Jimmy? In the NBA, and among other things, what's on.
Hold on, give me a second. Let me. Okay, it had a little echo going, but we're gonna talk about the NBA main finals right now, man. As we speak, man. As we predicted, they did everything they needed to do, and we predicted they needed to do. We didn't say they were going to win because we clearly was. I wouldn't say we was rooting for Golden State, but we picked Golden State to win in 5. You picked them in 6. But everything they said they needed to do, they did. You know, they balanced out their offense. They sped up the game a little bit because they went from typically taking damn near 20 seconds off the shot clock to about 17 seconds off the shot clock, and scoring at will against them. You know what I'm saying? So, they did everything they were supposed to do from winning. They made their 3-pointers at a crazy rate. They really their 3-point shot wasn't going up. So, man, they did.
And Kyle Lowry didn't fuck up. He didn't fuck up.
He had one bad game, but outside of that but he made a key play to seal the game away. Even though you know what I'm saying, he had a off game. Other than that, he pretty much did his thing. And Kawhi Leonard, you know what I'm saying, he was the MVP, but you could argue that Kyle Lowry was the MVP. You could argue Van Fleet was the MVP. You can even go as far as arguing Siakam could have won. You could argue that it could have went four different ways. You know what I'm saying? You could have easily had a double MVP in the NBA Finals, which has never happened in NBA Finals history. So what were your thoughts about the NBA Finals from your personal opinion?
It was everything what we said.
Yeah.
Everything what we predict was going to happen. And then a lot of people are saying, oh, and by the way, on the losing end, Draymond Green is the second guy to average a triple-double in the finals. And we all know who the first was. Mm-hmm. So, but everybody.
Mm-hmm. You went in and out, brother.
Of course, I was right on that because Kevin Durant, I've never seen a guy tear his Achilles tendon twice. Yeah. Never.
Yeah.
Never. Mm-hmm. So that's on Golden State. And I'm like what Shannon Sharp said about General Manager Bob Meyer. I've heard of dry food, but I never seen no dry tears.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the truth because I think, it would have been a different story. We probably would have been watching the Game 7 right about now, this shit.
Mm-hmm.
If Clay and Durant were playing. But, obviously, Toronto, they did expose Golden State even a little bit further. Mm-hmm. Mark Jackson was throwing shots like he's supposed to. They should have focused more on they should have been focusing more on the defense and everything. They should have been playing the Golden State Warriors ball the Warriors way, like he said. And a part of him is still part of the Golden State Warriors, and the fans know it. And it's bad, even though you're not liked in the organization, the fans love you still, even though you are a fired coach.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's everything we predicted. So again, congrats to the Toronto Raptors. What's next for the Raptors? The Ujiri situation, as far as him having this you're talking about the Washington Wizards all of a sudden want to give him an ownership stake if he become their general manager. I don't think he's gonna go for that because they tried this with somebody before and the NBA saw through that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So the Wizards is trying to be slick with something.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, fool them once, shame on you. Try to fool the NBA twice, shame on them.
Yeah.
So I really think Ujiri, he should stick around. I think Kawhi should stick around. I really think that core nucleus need to stay there in Toronto. Add a few little key components, you know. And yeah, even though that DeMar DeRozan called himself the sacrificial lamb, he was worth sacrificing.
You can argue that. I mean, that could be.
He was worth. He was worth He was worth sacrifice. Think about it. When Joe Dumars became general manager, he hired Rick Carlisle to be head coach of the Pistons. Pistons got their ass kicked in the second round. He fired him after that year. Got Larry Brown. What happened? They went to back-to-back finals. So yeah, Rick Carlisle was a sacrificial lamb, and then years later, Rick Carlisle won the NBA Finals. Hell, he could have won. He was supposed to won too.
Yeah.
No, well, he won one. I forgot Avery. Avery was supposed to win that one in 06. We all knew that. Avery had that one, dog. He had that one.
Take over a hot second. I'm gonna be right back. Just take over. Do your thing. A hot second.
All right, man. While Jimmy J's gone away, but you know, let's be real. DeMar DeRozan was worth the lamb, the sacrifice. Okay, they weren't gonna win no championship with DeMar DeRozan. They were not gonna do it. And you also have to think about a lot of sacrificial lambs that had to go. You know, like for example, Joe Montana. Joe Montana left as a free agent for the 49ers, and what happened? Steve Young finally won a Super Bowl on his own. You know, it's a lot of guys that had to be a lot of teams had to be sacrificed. And then when you want to talk about super teams, want to talk about what LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. Look at Dirk, Jason Terry, Jason Kidd, and fucking Tyson Chandler. That was a very well polished Dallas super team that beat the shit out of that Miami squad that year and won a championship. Yeah, sacrifice had to be made to do what you had to do. So DeMar just need to suck it up. And the fact is, he's still the same DeMar DeRozan that played in Toronto. Be wide open, don't never want to shoot no three, can't play no damn defense, none whatsoever. And Greg Popovich stay in his face every game, every fucking game. And when you play for Pop, you will have a 3-point shot. You will play defense. No excuse. So yes, Kawhi Leonard is the dynasty killer. He destroyed he destroyed the big three. He destroyed the Spurs. And he destroyed the Golden State Warriors. So what's next for Kawhi? I just hope he stay.
Because it's really up in the air whether or not he stayed, because he actually bought a house in San Diego. And San Diego is like only an hour and 40, 50 minutes, depending on how you get there, from LA. So it's very well possible that he could end up in LA, which I'm going to be honest with you. He shouldn't go to LA. I'm gonna just be honest with you, 1,000%. He should not.
I don't know. He shouldn't go to LA. Hell no, he shouldn't go to LA.
He does have a house out there. He does have a house nearby in Oceanside, California, not too far from Junior Seau's house. The house he bought is pretty luxurious if you see it. But
probably his summer home.
Yeah,
his off-season house.
Yeah, just like Jimmy Butler, and what's that nigga name? DeAndre Jordan. They both live out in Cypress, which is pretty much northwest Houston.
Jimmy Butler.
And shout out to my boy Shamaj TV. He said Kawhi showed up every game as well as Van Fleet. Steve Kerr, coach. We're gonna get to that. They also we're gonna get to that.
Hold up. Tell us something we don't know.
Yeah, but we're gonna break it down where he fucked up at. They need the closest thing to God to change that franchise around. Okay, agreed. Of course, they sacrificed good offense for good offense and great D. Okay. He also said he's the repeat stopper, and he said go to LA and be a third option. But again, he bought a house in San Diego. In San Diego, all you got to do is go up the 5 freeway north, and you're in LA. So you know what I'm saying. And you can catch the train You'll get there on the train a little bit faster, but you're not even going to speed. I'm not even going to recommend that because you're going to run right into traffic either way you go. But he shouldn't sacrifice himself for being the third option.
Hell no, he need to lead. You know, he need to lead. Yeah, I would love for him to stay in Toronto because, man, if he leads Toronto, that'll set him back. Who they gonna get to replace him? Paul George?
I mean, with the system they got now, as long as they keep the motion offense system that they have right now, I think that system could go a long ways and stuff like that. If I'm my boy, the coach of the Toronto Raptors, I keep on forgetting his Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse. I shout out to that brother. And one thing I have to respect about Nick Nurse acknowledged that Dwayne Casey built that team. And I don't have nothing but respect for a guy who acknowledges another guy. Because when he said, you know what I'm saying, he was giving the key.
He was giving the keys to Ferrari, but he had to learn how to drive it.
Exactly. He's acknowledging Dwayne Casey built that team. Because I felt like Dwayne Casey would have did the same thing that Nick Nurse did.
Oh, hell yeah, man. He would put like this. It took Nick Nurse 6 games to beat in his first year to beat Golden State in the finals, right? Mm-hmm. Want to know how many games it would have took Dwayne Casey to beat Golden State? Mm-hmm. 4.
Yeah.
4.
Because the thing about Casey knows how to get under people's skin, the player's skin, and make them go out and play for him. He's very effective, you know what I'm saying, by doing that. Whereas Nick Nurse is like the X's and O's guys. Casey's more of a motivational guy, but it works. You know what I'm saying? Because at first he ran I think he ran like a high post system, and then they went into the motion offense, and they did their thing with the motion offense, and they became one of the top 3-point shooting teams in the NBA in that motion offense. It just so happens that he wasn't able to get a championship. And you know what? And I say this, I think the Toronto Raptors should give him a ring just for building that team, like a lot of teams do. You know what I'm saying? Like when Elgin Baylor, you know what I'm saying, got hurt and didn't play the entire 1971 season. What ended up happening was 1972 season. I'm sorry. What ended up happening was that LA Lakers sent him a championship ring for building that team. You know what I'm saying? So I think that Toronto Raptors should do that. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is when it comes to that. Now I'm gonna get on to Steve Kerr's non-coaching ass because
wait a minute. You said we. Go ahead.
We're gonna talk about Steve Kerr. We're gonna talk about Steve Kerr's non-coaching ass. The fuck he did not keep DeMarcus Cousins in that game for the entire fourth quarter. I don't give a fuck how if he's 80, that nigga can play, if he can run up and down the court, that nigga should have been playing the whole fourth quarter. And I think that was one of the many mistakes that this dude did, because when DeMarcus Cousins is able to get that ball in the post, people get open and good things happen for the Golden State Warriors. Just like in game 2 when he had that monster game. You know what I'm saying? So Steve Kerr does not know how to use a big man for some odd reason. And I don't know why the fuck he don't know how to use this dude as a big man, because I really don't even consider Kevin Durant a real big man, because he's more like a swing man if you just want to be honest. So why the fuck this dude did not incorporate Boogie Cousins like he should, man?
Because he don't know how to fucking coach. Anybody would have done that shit. Hell, Dwayne Casey would have did that shit. Exactly. If he had a guy like DeMarcus Cousins, man, and he know when the chips is down, I'm gonna keep his ass in the fourth.
Yeah, because the thing is, I think it was like 8 minutes, 7 minutes into the fourth quarter. You know, put him in the game, started putting him in the game, and he was helping Golden State making plays.
Yep.
And I'm gonna get to that Samaj TV. He was helping Golden State. He was keeping Golden State in the game because my boy Stephen Curry had that Reggie ass jump shot, as weed smokers would call it. That nigga had that Reggie ass jump shot, broke his hell, man. And you know what I'm saying? And they used the boxing one was effective because nobody was able to get open and shoot the shots that they wasn't able to make threes in motherfucker. And the thing about the boxing one is that's not a good defense to play, especially against a good 3-point shooting team. But they put them they put Golden State in a position to try to make shots, and they was not able to hit that. Because when they tried to go to the boxing one with goddamn John B. Thompson was giving them someone to love up in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So my thing was Steve Kerr is a small adjustments head coach. He's not a major adjustments head coach. This has showed because had he been a major adjustments head coach, guess what? The Golden State would have their 4th championship in 5 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's
not tell you what kind of a coach he is.
What is he?
He's the type of coach that don't know where the men's bathroom is.
And here's the thing. It is possible for you to get championships and not know how to make certain adjustments and stuff like that. Like Pat Riley in the Lakers years had that issue. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, the Lakers should have won that whole 80s. With the talent the Lakers had, they should have dominated they should have won championships throughout the duration of the entire 80s. But he was not a major adjustments coach now he eventually started making adjustments with the New York Knicks and stuff like that. But then, he could have made those same adjustments with the LA Lakers and shit like that. Because he had a Ferrari, but didn't know how to drive it for the most part. He got that Paul Westhead system that was given to him. Yes, he won a championship as an interim coach, but he didn't make a lot of great adjustments at that time. It took him a while to learn how to be a good adjustments head coach and stuff like that. It took him to get to the New York Knicks, the Miami Heat. You know what I'm saying? To know how to make those damn adjustments and stuff like that. So Steve Kerr, I say he falls like right in the same boat. He was given a Ferrari, but can only drive it so far with that motherfucker, man. So that's my thing with Steve Kerr, man. Steve Kerr, man, he's a small adjustments coach. He's not a major adjustments coach. You give him some talent, he can win with that. But if he doesn't have talent, he's not going to be able to build like Mark Jackson built. He's not going to be able to build like Dwayne Casey did. You know what I'm saying? Because if you remember, the Toronto Raptors had 3 seasons where they didn't make the playoffs under Dwayne Casey. And then after those years, those first 3 years where they didn't make the playoffs, guess what? You know what I'm saying? They never missed the playoffs at that point, and they got past at least the second round from that point on. You know what I'm saying? So he's one of those people that just does not know how to make major adjustments. If you give Popovich the same talent that Toronto has, and you give Kerr the same talent that Toronto has, guess what? Popovich gonna win a championship with that talent Toronto has. You know what I'm saying? Kerr gonna probably find a way to fuck it up, man. You know what I'm saying? So to me, and I'm gonna say it like this: Steve Kerr is the Calipari of the fucking NBA. I'm gonna just be honest.
I've been saying that shit. He is. He is. But here's the thing. You want to know the difference between Steve Kerr and Calipari? Kerr ain't gonna go out the way to buy a kid a house.
He said Kerr had a Bentley and treated it like a Corolla. I agree.
Oh damn! Wow.
I agree, my
man. Bro. I agree with that, bro. Who said that?
Samaj TV, my boy Samaj TV. 99 problems and Kerr is one. But yeah, Kerr is a system basketball coach, just like John Calipari. But if you put him in a situation to where he got to coach them hoes, and I thought he would have learned his lesson in from the 2016 NBA Finals, but it seemed like dude didn't learn shit from that motherfucker. Because if he did, I would have kept DeMarcus Cousins. Shit, I'm gonna be honest with you. From 7 minutes to go in the third quarter to the end of the game, shit. And if he got hurt at that point, I would have made. I mean, shit, he would have just got hurt, but goddamn it, I would have kept him in the game. You know what I'm saying? The game got too far ahead, and you know what I'm saying. When Cousins was doing his thing, came back in the game, he was getting those Africans in foul trouble. You know what I'm saying? Those Africans was constantly fouling the shit out this dude, man. They was in serious foul trouble. It's just, you know, DeMarcus Cousins need to, you know, work on his free throws and shit like that. But still, man,
yeah. But he got a good. But here's the thing. He got. I'm not trying to sound gay. He got one of the most prettiest 3-point jumpers in the game. But his free throw shooting is whack.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Cousins. And I think from what I understand, Cousins is gonna try to re-sign with him, but I think he's gonna take a pay cut, a major pay cut to re-sign with him. I think it is.
Yeah, so they can try to keep. I think they're gonna try to keep Durant, though.
I think, but if he take the minimum like he did this year, or get like $5 or $7 million, you know, because you know he pretty good. He's still getting paid from that Sacramento contract.
Yeah.
You know, so I think he's pretty good for right now. You know what I'm saying? Now, I think if they win another championship, I think that's when he's going to start, you know, smelling his own nuts and being like, hey, I want a contract, which I can't blame him. Probably one of the best centers in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? With opposition to my boy Embiid and shit like that. So it is what it is. He said Jared Buco should have played as well. I think that's his name. I think it's Jared Buco. I think for the Golden State Warriors, the African dude that's on the bench.
Yeah. It's speaking of contracts. Daryl Moore need his ass whooped. The link I sent you on the excuse me, y'all. Apologize for that. The link I sent you on the Sports Talk Entertainment group about James Harden and Chris Paul. Can you believe this man? It will be get this. If I remember correctly, he will be 35. Well, he would be 30. Well, he would be 34 years old this year, I think, either in June and coming up June or next month.
Okay.
No. I'm talking about Chris Paul, man. Chris Paul
already turned 34, brother. Because he's a Taurus. I know that for a fact.
Yeah. And my father's a Taurus. Tauruses are assholes.
Yeah, I agree.
But Tauruses are assholes. If they can't get their way, they, you know, if it ain't all about them, they ain't gonna fuck with you. Or as I best said on the Craig Smith Senior Dedication Show, if your interest don't align with his, he ain't gonna fuck with you. So that's how Chris Paul is. That's a Taurus.
Well, he's a fixed sign. You got to think about it. Fixed signs are that when you're dealing with a fixed sign like Leos, Scorpios, Taurus, and Aquarius, those are guys who are pretty much set in their ways and got to have their way. So they are naturally gonna have their way. Whereas we're cardinal signs, we can make changes, but we're gonna make changes on our own terms. You know what I'm saying? Like Cancer is a cardinal sign. You know what I'm saying? We have a balance fixation and change. You know what I'm saying? But we make changes on our own terms.
And y'all open doors of self-pity.
Talking about myself or
Cancers in general. I ain't talking about you.
I have to disagree with that. I mean, it depends on the women. Yeah, the guys, we're pretty determined. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, I don't know a guy that Cancer that ain't determined. In my personal opinion, but back to
wait, Chris Paul.
You talking about Chris Paul?
Yeah, Chris Paul. This dude's contract, the man he due to make $38 million next season. Then 35 the following season, and then after that, they might gonna be make $41 million on the final year of his contract. So if you do the math on that, he getting paid all that money. But the knock on Chris Paul is this: you know, he don't get along with nobody, which is true. And then when you the head of the NBA Players Association, you know, Yeah, I mean, you juggling two jobs at once, and then from what I did read about Chris Paul, even though I believe he is a preacher's kid or something like that, he can't. Chris Paul can be an asshole sometimes. I read, I read some fan accounts about the man. Hold on, I read some fan accounts about the man. One, he waved it, he waved, kind of like waved out or something like that. He said, "Hey, Chris, how you doing?" That's about it. He kept it moving, But and said, well, most time he'll have time to he'll make time for autograph. But if he get a signal like that, like he'll wave and nod his head, yeah. But I've heard he is, I heard he is a dick. But they saying that with him and James Harden, they're not getting along though. But
he's in denial about that because they were talking about that he demanded a trade from the Houston Rockets, but he denied that. I mean, again, locker room issues is very common in the NBA. I'm not disputing that there were some locker room issues, but that's fucking common. I wish these motherfuckers come out.
That, but that's what but
name a goddamn duo that did not have any locker room problems. If you find
that's basically what Shannon has said. He said he wasn't saying no name. He said he had an issue with a player that was on the defense with Denver, and he said, hey, offense had their meetings, defense had their meetings, and then everybody had their own individual meeting. Everybody had their issues. He said his issue was, and Shannon said he confronted his teammate about that. Man, what's your problem with me? And and Shannon didn't go into detail of what was said, but he talked about it in that clip. So and he talked about it in clip. And let me tell you something. If y'all not if anybody in the chat room or whatnot, if y'all watching Undisputed, if y'all not watching Undisputed, shame, as Dusty Rhodes say. The whipping y'all need to get from us is gonna be shameful. Y'all to be ashamed of yourself if y'all not watching Undisputed. It's better than first mistake, first flake, and everything else. And we're gonna talk about Miss Molly Qerim and LeVar Ball in a minute because Jimmy said something, and I will say something about that. So I think, man. So let me ask you this: since you in Houston. You think Daryl Morey is regretting getting stuck with that, signing that man all that money?
He can still trade him, though. That's the thing, though. He can still trade him.
But who going to take that contract?
I mean, shit.
Now, wait.
Hey,
Wait. Don't answer it. I already know. Hey. And if anybody in the chat room knows, type the answer up in the chat room because I already know.
At least
I already know. Yeah.
Here's the thing. They got, according to the collective bargaining agreement, he's gonna get that contract whether he retires or not. He's still gonna get that money. You know what I'm saying? He can retire tomorrow and still get that money because under that CBA, they have to pay him. But the thing is, I've been saying that they're going to be talking about trade. He's going to be up for the trade talks for a minute. I said that when they lost in the conference semifinals. I've said that they're going to be talking about trading this dude. Trade rumors is going to be coming out like it ain't nothing. I knew that. Now, he did deny that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Carmelo's still going to get that contract. I mean, that's collective bargaining agreement. They got to pay him. You know what I'm saying? Because they get part of that television revenue and the concession stand. They got to drop that hoe off. If he retired tomorrow, they're going to have to drop it off. Just like Sacramento's still dropping that money out for Cousins. But the thing is, I told people this from the jump. They're going to be talking about trade rumors with Chris Paul because of the way he played at Golden State. He did not play himself. You know what I'm saying? I kind of felt like James Harden kind of felt like he was holding out on the Houston Rockets. And I could see that. I'm just having an idea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but see, he didn't hold out on against them last year because they took him 7 games.
It took him 7 games.
Because he was kicking ass last year.
And I feel like this, they would have won the championship had he not gotten hurt. But this year, he's with age. But I'm not making no excuses. He should have played better because they needed him to get more assists and get more points. If he couldn't contribute on the points department, he didn't do any of that for the most part. I think he averaged like 15 points a game, which is unacceptable. But he didn't get the 10 assists I said he needed to win that conference conference semifinals versus the Golden State Warriors. So my thing is, I think he's going to end up traded. You know what I'm saying? Now that I predicted that, either they're going to end up trading him for a younger and stronger point guard, or they're going to probably give him one more year and he's going to be up out of there. He's not staying past next year. I can assure you that. If the Houston Rockets do, A, he's going to be playing his ass off, or B, he's going to be, B, you know what I'm saying? They just some dumbass management, but I don't think Fertitta is going to make that same mistake because Fertitta already said after the semifinals that, hey, it's going to be some changes made. So Clint Capella, you won't know this. I don't know about PJ Tucker, but everybody except James Harden is on notice. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody on the Houston Rockets team, they putting them on notice. And like I say, we got the man, if you know what I mean, that's running that team. Yeah, Daryl Morley, you know what I'm saying? Daryl Morley is the face of the franchise in terms of the GM, but Fertitta's going to get what he wants. That's one thing about Fertitta. And I've been knowing about Fertitta the last 3 years. Shout out to my boy, Coach Sheldon Harrison, for putting me up on this. But that's one man that gets what he wants. You know what I'm saying? Especially out here in Houston. So, and he want to play with LeBron. I think he may end up there. He may end up in
Bingo. I let you figure it out for yourself.
But it's 3 teams he probably could end up going to. But that's one of the spots I was going to mention.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Kemba Walker either go to LA or to Houston. I'd rather see him in Houston. Him and James Harden. Whew.
And then he pretty much knows when to dominate in terms of scoring. See, Chris Paul is a natural point guard. He's not a scoring point guard. He's never going to be the guy that make clutch shots for you. He can score to keep you in the game, but that's all he's going to do. He's more of a guy.
Kimba does it all.
Kimba does it all. So
and the ball, what Shannon said. Well, but shout out to my boy Shannon Sharp, O'Shea Sharp. He said we in the league right now where any position of guard or forward or center has to be able to be a 5.
Mm-hmm.
He said, gone is the days of a center just posting up and putting the ball in and blocking shots. He said, if they doing that, if they just doing just that and not shooting threes and not taking jump shots, what you in the league for? That's the new mentality of the league, and I agree with him. Kemba Walker, man, hey, I've been a fan of Kemba Walker since he came out of UConn.
Yeah, when he beat
the Puke Devils.
And beat the Kentucky Wildcats twice. One at the Maui tournament in the Final Four, and just made them cry. Just made them hoes cry. Yeah, but yeah, man. I was a fan of Kemba Walker then, man. Real talk, man. And him and Jeremy.
I think Tubby was there at the time when Kemba was there.
Say what else?
What year did Kemba come out? Somebody look that up, but yeah,
I think 2011. I want to say because they beat Butler. They beat Butler that year. I think it's either 10 or 11, but they beat Butler because Butler went to the championship game twice and lost.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, because they almost beat Duke.
Yeah.
But Kemba though, man, he takes point guard to a fucking new level. He shoot the 3, he'll pass. I seen him in a couple games against Charlotte. He posted up. So I mean, if I was James Harden, if I was Fertitta and Morley, I'd go after him.
Mm-hmm.
And trade Chris Paul to Charlotte.
Yeah, I would either get him or get the kid from Atlanta. That way, you won't have to spend a lot of money you won't have to spend a lot of money right then and there. I mean, this is a couple of options you can go with the Rockets, but for Tita, you better make a move. If you make a move like you said you do, because according to your track record is known for making the moves, man, that you've been making, man. So I think he needs to bust a move now. You missed out on Anthony Davis, but that don't mean you can miss out on anybody else. So make that move. Make your move for Tita. You know what I'm saying? And I believe he will make some type of move that's going to be a game changer. But I still think Golden State is the team to beat in the West. With opposition to the Rockets and now the LA Lakers and possibly Portland, because Portland ain't nothing to sleep on either. Let's not count them hoes out either. So it is
what it is.
So yeah, now the Molly Karam situation. The Molly Karam situation. I think that bitch is full of shit.
Mm-hmm. You just not knowing that?
That bitch full of shit. I'm gonna just be honest with you. Now,
you just not knowing that?
I've been knew that. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't say nothing. That was some fuck shit right there. Now, granted, none of us on this panel, including maybe Samaj TV, like LeVar Ball. Let's just keep it 1,010. But one thing I'm not finna sit up here and do is play these Me Too games with these hoes out here. Get the fuck out of here, bro. That was some real slick, contrived shit. What gears you think he was talking about? I mean, get the fuck out of here. And then Stephen A. George Jefferson, eyes bucking, tap dancing, Massa Be Good ass nigga was like, oh my lord, man, fuck you Stephen A. Coons.
But maybe the saving. I didn't mean to interrupt. Maybe the saving grace in that segment, Max Kellerman just busts out laughing, dog. he knew what Lamar meant. That's why I said Max Kellerman get a pass from me. Cause when LeVar said that shit, Max went like, and they had to take the camera off Max to show Molly.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is LeVar Ball is an asshole, but I'm not finna sit up there and co-sign people just pissing on this guy. I mean, granted, you know, when he talked that stupid shit, he said talking about he gonna beat Michael Jordan. I get that. That's an extreme point. When he talked about his son gonna be the greater than Magic Johnson, I get that. I get why you would clown him for that. This right here, he does not deserve to be clowned on. Because first of all, Molly Karam was just playing racial politics. That's what the fuck it was. Let's just keep it 1,010. I mean, get the fuck out of here, Molly. Get the fuck out of here.
And wait a minute. She mean to tell me she didn't let that shit. She didn't let that shit go. Man, what LeVar said.
What it was a dog whistle to white supremacists because a lot of those fucking Arabs, and I'm gonna go there. I goes there. A lot of them Arabs think they're white. That's the thing about a lot of those fucking Arabs. That was a white supremacist dog whistle. She knows what it was. And now the media is having a field day with it. It's nothing more, nothing less. And I'm gonna call it out for what it is. That bitch was on some bullshit. The thing is, LeVar Ball is LeVar Ball. And if you don't want it, and if you think it was inappropriate, you should have pulled him to the side instead of making it a media circus out there. That's all it was a fucking dog whistle. You know what I'm saying? So fuck Molly Karam. I don't give a fuck about that bitch. I don't care to see her on first pump fakes. I don't give a fuck about this motherfucker for doing that little bullshit, man. Again, I don't give a fuck about LeVar Ball, but when it comes to black people getting ridiculed for no fucking reason, I have a motherfucking problem with that.
Man, yeah. Well, now you gotta fill me in about this shit, Molly. Okay, now I saw the clip when LeVar said, what was that he said?
He said she wanted to switch gears in terms of.
He said you can switch gears on me anytime. You know, everybody took it that way, but here's another thing: LeVar probably didn't mean it that way.
Exactly, because LeVar Ball is a straight shooter. That's the thing about him. He says whatever the fuck.
This means you can switch gears on me anytime by meaning, hey, you can change the subject. Molly just took it the wrong way. And she just took that shit the wrong way. I wouldn't be surprised if Jalen Rose took that shit the wrong way too. But Jalen, but see, and he from Detroit, so. But Jalen, man, he need to calm that shit down. I understand that's your wife, and I'm pretty sure it's tough for him to get some at night because his Molly got a condition where she can't do the thing, But no, I ain't talking about no disease. It's some type of she went public about that shit. Damn. And she went public about it. Because Jalen didn't want her to go public about the shit, but she said, "No, I am."
It was a dog whistle. It's a fucking dog whistle. I know what it is. It was a dog whistle. But she did some dog whistles. She knew ESPN, who's known for politics, who's known for being fucking biased. She knew from the fucking jump that they was gonna make a fake outrage over something. Over this shit,
and she should have stayed her fine ass on NFL Network. That's where she was at first.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I mean, how the fuck? Okay, Rich Eisen making money on his own and doing NFL Network. Why the fuck would you leave that network to join a network that was fun to watch? But they are now more fucking WWE like than ever.
I mean, both of those motherfucking networks is WWE. First, in my personal damn opinion, both of them hoes is some WWE bullshit. So that's the way I look at it at ESPN. The only time I look at ESPN is I want to see the sporting event. I don't look at their sports analyzation shows. I take a glance at it. You know what I'm saying, to confirm a lot of things, but I don't do it that often. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of them motherfuckers, a lot of those motherfuckers on ESPN, I just can't stand. I'm gonna just be I keep it 1,010. I can't stand the face of Stephen A. Smith. I sure as fuck can't listen to him talk all day with all that tap dancing and George Jefferson eyes bucket shit like that. I just can't stand this motherfucker. That's the way I look at it. Now, yeah, I listen when the guests, like, let's say one of my favorite boxers like Deontay Wilder goes on.
Now, Shaq was on this morning. He had to get on
mm-hmm.
he had to get on some dude today. He talking about he ranked LeBron as the greatest player ever. And Shaq said, "Okay, you say LeBron the greatest player ever." He said, "What about them two? What about those two that's ahead of him? Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant." Dude could say shit. It's on. I'm gonna find it. And it's on IG, it's on the Instagram TV. And Shaq said, "Okay, how many?" But then, dude, Ryan Hollins, I think Ryan Hollins, that's his name.
Yeah, Ryan Hollins. He just said it as you said it. Shit. Yeah,
and Ryan Hollins come breaking it down. He said, "Wait a minute." And then Max Kellerman was like, "Wait a minute." He said, "Kobe." He said, "Shaq, didn't you win 3 championships with Kobe? And Kobe won 2 without you?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I'm glad you brought it up." He said, "Ryan, tell me something. What's Michael Jordan's finals record?" And Ryan Hollins is like 6. How many? 6. He said he's 6-0. He said he's some ass 4. You said you don't know. He's 6-0. He said, "How many game 7s has Michael Jordan ever been in?" None.
Yeah, that's true. Very, very, very true. He's never been in the
And then he grabbed Ryan Hollins' cup. He said, "Let me see something." He said, "Yeah, you had you a shot of Captain Morgan this morning." He said, "So ain't this conversation over?" Damn. Yeah.
Now,
but
now
go ahead.
For semifinals and the conference finals, he have been in 3 game 7s if you count those.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the finals, he's never been in the game 7 in the NBA finals. He's never had to go to the game 7 because he made the plays necessary to keep from that happening though. So yeah. Yep.
But this Molly Karen situation, man. I mean, Be like Frozen and let it go.
Exactly.
Damn.
Yeah,
Shit. Just because you slick getting the deeds done by Jalen don't mean, you know, don't make you nobody.
Yeah. I mean, she need to cut that bullshit out, man. It is what the fuck it
What it
is.
is.
Man, you heard any NFL news that you wanna bring up, man? Any notable NFL news that you want to bring up, brother?
No, but we had a fan question about some NFL. I ain't no, I haven't heard nothing NFL news related. This one comes from Horn Frog 48. I gotta take he's a TCU fan. Well, he is if you name himself Horn Frog. Uh, what did I just say? 48, 28. I just forgot that quick. But anyway, he wants to know. He said, "What's up, guys?" He said, "I listen." He said, "Been following your shows and recently listened to a fan question in regards to being asked about who had the best offense in both college football and pro football, and who was the most underrated, which you guys never did answer. I want to know who's the most underrated offense that never gets talked about and never gets replicated. And I also want to know, in your guys' opinion, who had the best defense in both college and pro football, past or present?"
The best defense
In college, past or present. Horn Frog, I'm gonna say this. But let us answer your first question first. I gotta go with the 2006. I think the 2005 Tulsa Hurricane, as far as the most underrated offenses go. Never before in the history of college football where you had a 5,000-yard passer, 2 1,000-yard rushers, and 3 1,000-yard receivers.
Oh yeah.
Never. And the following year, they damn near did it again with a 4,000-yard passer, 2 1,000-yard rushers, and then 2 1,000. And they almost had 3 1,000-yard receivers, but the third receiver got hurt. So I got to go with both of them teams. And oh, by the way, the offensive genius behind that, before he just started being a run-happy coach, was this cat by the name of Gus Malzahn. Yeah. So he was calling offensive plays for one Philip Montgomery. But that's the most underrated offense, bar none, in football that never gets talked about. Now, as far as you say, his best defenses go past the present, college and pro, okay, the 85 Bears is always going to get talked about. I mean, take your pick. Steel Curtain, 85 Bears. But if you want to go underrated, I mean, and if you want to go as far as the best underrated defense that never get talked about, you got to look at all the Bill Walsh teams at San Fran.
There you go.
Them defenses, they ran one of the best 4-3s ever, and they stayed in the top 3, in top 5. And I think in the 1987 divisional playoffs, the 49ers had the number 1 offense. Minnesota had, it was one of them years they won the Super Bowl because it was a flip-flop. Because the 49ers had the number 1 offense, Minnesota had the number 1 defense. Yeah, that was the year. That was the year they won that Super Bowl when they blew out Denver. Yeah, because Minnesota had number 1 defense, 49ers had number 1 offense. But then, I believe in Bill Walsh's last game when they lost that divisional playoff to Minnesota, Minnesota had the number 1 offense. 49ers had the number 1 defense that year. None of those Bill Walsh defenses never get talked about. They always stayed in the top 3 to top 5. And when George Seifert took over coaching, they were number 1 for like 3 straight years. And then when they finally won the Super Bowl, when they won the Super Bowl against San Diego, they had a number 1. They had, I believe their defense was number 2. They had a number 1 or number 2.
Because they had Richard Dent, Ricky Jackson. They had a Junior Bryant. They had a nice little squad. Deion Sanders, they were loaded on defense, as well as offense. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they were doing the damn thing. And like I say, the 49ers defense of the 80s. If you want to talk about for a decade, that 49ers defense was stifling because they had probably one of the best secondaries in their time. You know what I'm saying? With opposition to the Oakland Raiders of the 80s or the Raiders of the 80s, you know, because they were in Los Angeles at that time. But they had a pretty good secondary at that time. But that 84 49ers, they gave the Washington Redskins a run for their money in terms the Washington Redskins in the Raiders a run for their money in terms of secondary because they would swap out corner positions opposite of Darryl Green, but it was a guy from Memphis. What was that dude's name? He went to Melrose High School, but anyway, he had 2 interceptions in the Super Bowl when Doug Williams threw for 4 touchdowns in that 42-10 blowout of the Denver Broncos and stuff like that. And you know, he led the NFL in interceptions opposite of Darryl Green. You had Todd Bowles back there in the secondary, and there was another guy back there. So yeah, you could argue, you know, the 49ers secondary was up there with them. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't always have to make play. They didn't always have to intercept the ball to make plays because they were able to force turnovers. They did everything. And they were able to tackle. That defense was better. That you could argue they was up there with the Legion of Boom in terms of secondary. You know what I'm saying? So, man, you could like.
And I'm put like this. I don't think the Legion of Boom could light a candle to them that 49 secondary. No.
Yeah. Eric Wright, Jeff Fuller, and Dwight Hicks were the main guys in that secondary. But those guys, I mean, like I said, they didn't have to always get an interception. Those guys would know how to find a way to get a turnover and stuff like that.
Don't forget in the later years, Merton Hanks.
Yep.
With that crazy dance.
Oh yeah, you had Michael Carter. You know what I'm saying? The defensive tackle, man. You had Keena Turner, Manu Tuiasosopo, who's related to Marcus Tuiasosopo, who played for Washington. So yeah, they had a hell of a defense back there, man. Man, no lie. So, but if you're talking about by year, I think the Ravens defense, I'll put it slightly over the Chicago Bears at 85, slightly, and I say slightly because those motherfuckers, the Baltimore Ravens defense had mainly no offense. These niggas would win games scoring touchdowns. At least the 85 Bears offense, they had somewhat of an offense. These motherfuckers didn't have no kind of offense. And that's just my personal opinion.
And then they had fucking Brian Billick as a damn as the coach. They didn't start getting the offense till they got Steve McNair.
Exactly. So they had zero offense, whereas the Bears could at least score. The Bears could at least show they could blow you out. Whereas the Ravens defense, they would win games by 9-0, 16-0. Man, come on, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but you could argue the Bears defense too, because that 46 defense was hard to figure out at that particular time. Because teams was not used to people blitzing like that. You know what I'm saying?
And I told you who figured. Mm-hmm. And I told you who figured that shit out when they met up.
Yeah,
Don Shula.
And it was also based off the Jets defense of the 1969 Jets defense. It was that 46 defense. That's the parent of that defense because that's a very similar defense. Not quite, but it's a little different because they blitz differently in that defense and stuff like that. So, man, you can go either way, man. Did he say college offenses or college defenses?
College defense.
Ooh-wee. You got me there, bro. I have to say you got me on that one.
I'll go with one. Shame on you, Jimmy. Brent Venables.
Yeah.
Right now.
If you just for this era, Brett has one of the best, hands down. If you're talking about overall overall record in terms of defense, you know, I would probably, as a defensive coordinator, he is the best out there. Bud Foster, he getting old, so I can't.
Yeah, he's still not as Kirk Herbstreit say, still one of the bright young defensive minds. Bud Foster damn near pushing 60.
Yeah, he damn near pushing 60, and he's good.
But he don't look it though. But
yeah, and he stay having good corners, but Venerable's defense, they rarely have to blitz. They rarely come with guys on the blitz, and he coaches one of the best techniques because he used the old school Rams technique. I think they call it a 3 technique or some shit like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he used it against Bama.
Yeah, he used that old school Rams technique. Then
he turned around. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then the game in which Dabo Swinney let him coach the game when they shut out Ohio State. I think I said on here he ran a dime and nickel mix. He went nickel for the first half, and then he went straight up on an aggressive dime package the second half. Ohio State couldn't do shit. They couldn't get nothing going.
Yeah.
So I mean, bar none. Shit, even though I like Nick now, and some of the dudes he been hiring lately to call his defense, like and gotta give a shout out to my boy Murph, because Saban hired Florida State's old defensive coordinator to be the co-defensive coordinator, Charles Kelly, and Charles Kelly runs a prevent schematic. Mm-hmm. Come on now. I'm like Warren Sapp. What the hell is prevent? What do you prevent? You preventing us from winning the game? Yeah, so I'm not too fond of that hire, but Charles gonna have. But Charles, I ain't too far in age along with him because I think he'll be 40. He'll be 48 this year. So he'll be 48 this year. And he gonna have to stick with that Saban blueprint. Now, as far as college defenses in the past, I'll do you one better. Jimmy Johnson's 4-3 at Miami.
Yeah, and he ran.
He ran a better 4-3, but he made them players work though. A lot of the players complained, said, "Man, he's a hell on one play. We would be tired as hell, That's how he worked."
Oh yeah, and then he used a mixture of the 46 defense as well too. He used a mixture of the 4-3 over, and he used a lot of 46. He took an account of that. So man, it's like, but for that's a hell of a question. But if you're just talking about current defensive coordinators, you would have to go with Venerables and Foster. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it is what it is.
But like he said, past the present. That was a good spin of that. But that was a damn good question he asked. Yeah. And by the way, Horn Frog, since you did say something about defenses, when the 4-2-5 by TCU's Gary Patterson was unveiled, the Horned Frogs had the number one had the nation's top 3 defense for 3 straight years until they lost some good ass players. And now them motherfuckers ain't. Now the players that he got, that Gary Patterson down there, shout out to him, that he got, them dudes ain't shit.
Yeah.
Cause that 4-2-5 he ran, man, woo, shit.
But that 4-2-5. And it works if you got a whole bunch of passing offense. The only other team I've seen do that very well was the Mississippi State teams back in the 90s with Joe Lee Dunn. But other than that, man, the reason why the Horned Frogs was effective with that is because they were playing mostly in the WAC/Mountain West Conference, where mostly everybody throws the fucking ball. Perpetually throws the ball all the damn time. So I mean, but
they had a damn good, but it also was used. Is also used to stop the run though. It's pretty much it's a 50-50 defense, but now it's really not shit now with all these players that they're getting now. Mm-hmm. And I'm finna rant on about that a little bit. Shit, a lot of kids don't. These kids today, man, they don't have no dedication to the game, none whatsoever. They don't. They don't. They don't really respect the game. I feel, yeah, you got some asshole coaches out there, but these coaches didn't come. They came to y'all house to recruit y'all. They know what they expect for you. But you want to fuck it up by these kids today. They want to fuck it up by hot dogging, grandstanding, and bullshitting and all this shit. Listen, and I've said this before on the Let's Draw on Something show. And I said it, and I believe I said this on Jimmy J's show, and Jimmy J had a better point on mine than I did. But I'm going to say it again in case if these kids don't hear me. Do fucking damn film study. I ain't talking about your fucking highlight film. Do some fucking damn film study. Learn how to what and even though Jimmy don't care too much for Bill Belichick, that's the one thing he be making his players do. Do some fucking damn film study.
Oh, yeah.
You gonna have to. Belichick admit, he say, hey, Monday through Fridays, he film studying. Saturday, he ain't doing shit. Because he done his. He said sometimes he had them days of coming to office, just take around a little bit, come up with something, this and that, or whatever. Belichick, and I still and people still say that the '86 Giants defense was the best defense in NFL. Bullshit. They were second against the run, number one total, 19th against the pass. But anyway, but they still won a Super Bowl with a 19th ranked pass defense. But anyhow, you kids is out there, whether if it's basketball, football, especially football, with football season coming up, study the damn game film. Because these coaches that's recruiting you, they're gonna be kid. They're gonna be testing you on film study too by asking you what especially quarterbacks. Defense show a cover two, who do you throw to? Simple questions like that. They're gonna ask you questions like that. Okay, if defense call a blitz, what protection scheme you gonna call? Or if a coach calls one play with a protection scheme, like I was just saying, 32 trio flat left 60. 60 is protection scheme. Okay, I just came up with that from off the fly. But if the team finna show blitz, what's your protection scheme? Coaches are gonna ask you young players that shit. Study film, man. You ain't, yeah, it's fine and good. You be out with getting a woman and all this other shit. But I'm just gonna say it here. When it all boiled down to it, when you got a college career and an opportunity to make it in the NFL, hey, I'm not saying you ain't gotta, you don't need to, you don't stop, you ain't gotta stop doing it. It's gonna come a time when when it comes to getting that, when that pussy gotta be on hold for a while.
Exactly.
I'm being honest. It's gotta come a time when that young pussy that you've been wanting to hit is gonna have to be on hold for a minute. And if she more worried about you hitting it, hey, she ain't the right one for you. But if you got one that understand that, hey, I understand you get your career, but yeah, I'm still your, and she tell you I'm still your girl, that's the one you need to stick with through the thick and the thin. Huh?
And Samaj TV laughing his ass off, but I'm like, it's real shit though, bro. Real talk.
Samaj, it's real shit. Nothing against you. It's real shit. I've seen it. Jimmy has seen a lot of these high school players get caught up in the fucking game. Man, they get some pussy and whatever. Next thing you know, that girl ain't a fuck. Ooh, baby buzz.
Oh yeah, man.
We seen it happen. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen with plenty of, But man, let me tell you something, kids. Study your fucking damn game film.
Exactly.
And I keep forgetting to hit up Jacquez Green because I know he's probably a busy man right now. I'm probably hit him up for the football season start. But we got to get him on the Jimmy J Smooth show on the Jimmy J Smooth network, and we're gonna put this on him.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
We definitely talk football and what is it, and his advice to his advice to look for, what coaches really look for in the kids, because I think I did break down the science. Guy by the name of Coach Singleton. We follow each other on Twitter. His Twitter handle is Slade48.
Yeah.
He in some way words said the same thing except the girl part. Mm-hmm. And there was another guy that said the same thing. He said players, don't think these coaches is not talking to other coaches about you. Mm-hmm. Keep that in mind. They be wanting that beside the grades, they be wanting to know, do you show up for class late? Or how many times you been absent, or what kind of person are you outside? He said that does play a big factor.
Oh yeah.
That does. So, I mean, it is what it is. I just passed on some advice and Samaj. Appreciate you watching, but that's just some real shit. Well, we just speed it up. Jim, you talking to two guys now. Between the two of us, combined ages of 45 years old. No, 75 years old, excuse me. So do the math.
Most definitely.
You add our ages up. Well, even though I'll be 41 in October and Jimmy be 35 at the end of the month. 75 years of experience between the two of us total. 35 for Jimmy, 40 for me. We seen it all, dude. Samaj, we seen it all. Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure you have too. I'm pretty sure you know some too. I'm not bashing you, and I'm not bad. Oh, wait a minute.
He probably old school guy though. He probably old school. Knowing him.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Samaj has seen it. Plus some himself.
Yeah, man.
Because, man, I'm just telling the truth. I've seen a lot of high school, some potential college careers get killed off over fuck shit they decide to fucking do.
Exactly, man. And very common out in Memphis, man, because it was plenty of football players out of the city of Memphis that could have had Hall of Fame careers, man. And it's unfortunate that you only really got one Hall of Famer out of the city of
Isaac Bruce.
Memphis. Out of the city of Memphis. I'm talking about high school. Horn.
No.
Well, Isaac Bruce, is he in the Hall of Fame yet? I don't think he's in there yet.
I think he is.
Yeah, I don't think he is in there, but I know there's only one, and that was that guy that played for the Falcons / Philadelphia Eagles. I can't think of him. I think his name Humphreys or something like that. I gotta look him up. But there's only one homegrown high school guy out of Memphis that had made it to the Hall of Fame. But there's been plenty of guys that get drafted in the NFL out of Memphis and stuff like that. There's been plenty of guys out there. But yeah, man, there's been many careers that got messed up in our city because of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Could have easily went on and did their thing in the NFL.
Hell, it's some players. I ain't saying, not saying names. It's fucking star athletes that's working out at FedEx right now. Mm-hmm. Potential star athletes. It's a shame. Yeah, I shake my head at him, be like, damn.
Yeah, I knew
couldn't leave. One dude had a chance to be in the NFL, but he couldn't leave the fucking streets alone.
Yep.
And he working out of FedEx, and I just shake my head, and I mutter under my breath, and he did, to the point he heard me. I said, man, all that fucking potential you had wasted for the damn streets.
Yeah, and I had the opportunity to meet a guy that actually played in the NFL, scored a couple of touchdowns in the NFL, and like I say, couldn't leave them goddamn Memphis ass streets alone, man. Know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's just the way that is, man. Basketball players, man, shit, forget about it. There's plenty of guys that could have made the NBA out of Memphis, but football players, I think that gives them a run for that give Memphis basketball players a run for their money all day, every day, man. Because like you say, couldn't leave them goddamn dumbass streets alone, man. So yeah. Yeah, man. So it is what it is. So do you got anything else you want to talk about before we get our ass up out of here?
Nah, brother, I'm done.
Oh, so once again, this your boy live and direct in full effect out the 832 with my boy out the 662. And y'all already know how we do, man. Y'all have a good night and have a good work week. Peace out.
And the pleasure's been all yours. And fuck you, Molly Karen.
Exactly.